approached the dawn of time in Lowestoft High Street with a request to conduct a paranormal investigation on the property. We have investigated many of the buildings in the area and have found it both fascinating and active. This part of Lowestoft has had multiple paranormal claims, including 3 female apparitions. One was described as being a brown lady, the second lady was described as wearing a long dress and mock cap, and the last was said to be a lady in period dress. There have also been repeated reports of the apparitions of a hooded man and a fisherman. An interesting story from this area that hit the news a few years back is of a pub requesting insurance against damages caused by poltergeist activity. The story of the witches' stones and possible secret tunnels in the area have also fascinated us here at Hopton Ghost Hunters. The investigation at the dawn of time began with the team setting up full spectrum video and audio to cover the active areas where activity had been reported. Baseline readings were taken including temperature, humidity and EMF and EMR. We also placed some trigger objects in the active areas such as a laser grid and shadow detectors. It was a quiet investigation with no video or audio evidence collected. During our investigation, we used sensitives to help us gain information about what may be present. Here are the messages and images that the team reported sensing during our investigation. We do not use this as evidence, but in our experience our clients find this information to be very interesting. The first spirit sensed during the night was that of a pretty lady called Susan or Sue. Sue was around 40 years old and was described as wearing thick black top-framed glasses and wearing a blazer jacket with matching skirt of around knee length. Sue also showed our sensitive the images of her dressed in a short-sleeved dress with a ribbon bow on it. Sensitives mentioned that Sue had to fight against cancer, but it was unclear if this was the reason as to why she died. It was thought that Sue enjoyed listening to jive-type music and was in the shop from around the 1960s. Images were seen of this room being a cafe in a style similar to an American diner, with a bell above the door, tables and chairs and lights from the ceiling shining individually onto the tables. It was felt that the storage room behind the back room was once used to bake food to be served. As we continued our investigation, the images of 2 butchers were seen. The first man, named David, was described as being short and having quite unkempt sideburns. The second man was described as being tall and thin and having a small moustache. The first image that was shown consisted of the men chopping up a pig and using what looked like a sausage-making machine. The second image involving a policeman who was wearing a tall hat talking to the butchers about food poisoning. After an investigation, we always try our best to validate as much of the information that our sensitives receive during our investigation as we can. We do this by looking for significant events and people connected with the history of the building and local area. Here is some of the history that we were able to find. The first owner and proprietor of 133 High Street, Lowestoft, was William Smith Rackham, or William Rackham. He was born on the 13th of April 1801 and passed on the 7th of October 1854. He established a thriving butcher's and married Mary Woods, who passed at the young age of 30. William and Mary had 8 children: Mary Ann, Eliza, Margaret, William Jr., Peter, Susan, who was born 1830 and is listed on a census as having still lived at the above address in 1851, Henry and Thomas. William Jr. took over full ownership of the property and business, along with all the family's responsibilities in 1850. William Jr. married Elizabeth Clark, and they had their own family. Mary Ellen, who sadly died as an infant, and William, who was born 1854 and passed in 1895. William Jr.'s son did not share in his family's heritage and is found leaving Norfolk in 1875. With multiple family members living at 133 High Street, it's clear on the census that Henry, William Jr.'s brother, married Maria Goldsmith, and they had a very large family together. Their children were Frederick, Emily May, Gertrude, Herbert, Elizabeth, Maria, Margaret, Susanna and Ellen. Henry died a prisoner, but even with intensive research we were unable to verify he was a prisoner of crime or of war. The history then takes a little turn. Benjamin Saunders was employed as an apprentice butcher by William Jr. Benjamin fell in love with Maria, the niece of William Jr. and daughter of Henry. History shows that they married, later took ownership of 133 High Street, Lowestoft, during 1876 to 77. The Saunders family traded as Saunders Butchers until late 1961. In 1963, the Go-Go's Cafe took ownership of this property, and many years later became J&M Cards till 2013. Unfortunately, there is no significant events to report during this time. We would like to thank everyone at Dawn of Time for allowing us to investigate such a historical building and interesting area of Lowestoft. If you find that you require a paranormal investigation, Hopton Ghost Hunters offer a friendly and professional approach with over 10 years' experience using the latest techniques and equipments, excluding seances and Ouija boards. All investigations are free, discreet and confidential. Businesses may wish to use an investigation for promotional purposes. If you wish to ask any questions, why not contact us by visiting our website www.hoptonghosthunters.co.uk. You could email us on hoptonghosthunters@talktalk.net or add us on Facebook. Telephone us on 0787 250 9220.